Hello, homies. How's it going? I'm back again here doing my favorite thing at my favorite place. Let me explain studios! But today, we're doing it a little bit different. I've watched these animations
for a year now,
and I have gotten so deeply embedded and invested in all of this stuff. And now I can finally pass my knowledge off to someone new. This is my girlfriend Lola, and I'm gonna show her Let Me Explain Studios today. I know you've seen little bits and pieces, but I don't think you've like sat down and watched a Let Me Explain Studios video before.
I haven't.
Okay, so this is gonna be fun. This is like one of my favorite channels. I want to show you some classics, but we can also watch a new one at the end. Reminder: Rebecca Parham did all the hard work on these videos. Her link will be in the description. Make sure you are subscribed to Let Me Explain Studios. Support the original creator, okay? If you don't, I'm coming for you. Okay, I want to start with one of my favorites of all time: Daycare Stories. You haven't seen it, right?
No.
Never seen it? Okay.
I haven't seen it.
Sweet. I want to start with that one, and then yeah, we'll do something new and stuff. But yeah, I hope you enjoy. This is a new kind of video I want to try, so if you enjoy it, please let me know in the comments. I'm honestly really excited, so. That was cringe, I'm sorry. I was cringe there.
Why?
Like, that's pretty lame. It's like, whoa, dude had his first girlfriend ever. Dude's first time being near a woman.
Oh, hello, my geeks and peeps, my explainers and entertainers, my little lollies. Rebecca Parham here. So, did you know I was a daycare kid?
Yes.
Probably not, because I've never mentioned it before. Makes sense, given that mom and dad were both working parents, and leaving one's infant at home alone is generally considered problematic.
Yes.
Now, I know it might be hard to believe, but I haven't always been the pinnacle of refinement and maturity that you see before you today.
What?
No. As a kid, I was a bit of a rascal.
Are you ready? Are you gassed up? Was that a sick intro?
It was a sick intro. I love the little baby hair.
She's very good at articulating and telling stories. Like, her videos sound a little bit more like script-like. It's like a play. It's like, the way she delivers what she says is like a play. And I think that's cool.
It reminds me of Disney.
Touché.
For example, the box story. Now at this daycare we had a big playroom, and in this playroom there was a dark little alcove where custodial stuff and equipment was kept all the time, and one morning during playtime I noticed someone had left a large box there. Big enough for a child to hide behind. Now there's a concept that I call kid logic, and it's basically just a name for that randomness that kids possess, or the absurdity that is their reasoning sometimes. For example, when I saw that box, that's when my kid logic kicked in, and I said,
Okay, good for dinner.
I'm gonna hide behind that box for as long as possible and see what happens. This is a great idea. So when the adults weren't looking, I slunk behind the box and crouched down, hiding myself entirely.
just for as long as she intends to do. Every kid's done that, I feel, where you like just hide in a place, just like, you just hide. Like, adults don't do that, you know? When was the last time you were just like, I'm just gonna hide from people so that they go and look for me?
I still hide from people. I love to scare friends. I scare you. Or at least I try to.
You do. Sometimes I'm like, I know she's doing something, but I don't need to hide. I walk into the room, and if you don't hear me, you freak out with
because
surprise.
You walk like a cat.
I don't need a manly cat, okay?
Hiding myself entirely. I must have stayed there for half an hour before playtime ended, and they ushered all the kids away to a different room for a new activity. And funny enough, the adults were none the wiser I was gone.
They didn't care.
Oh,
I beat
no.
the system. Now this is what gets me. It took an hour of me hiding before an adult came back to the room and visibly began looking around for something. Couldn't imagine what it might be. Now where did I leave that small child? Must be around here someplace. I peeked my head up over the edge of the box to watch, but that proved to be my undoing.
Oh no.
I was spotted! I've been compromised! I got in big trouble for that, of course. I was clearly not good at getting away with things when I was a kid, as you'll see in the next story.
The infamous box incident. A tale as old as time. Have you ever been in a box?
I have been in a box as a kid, trying to hide, actually.
Did you ever, when you were a kid, go in, just have a cardboard box, close it up, and get your friend to roll you around?
What?
No.
I did. I loved that. What? That's probably why I'm so weird now. Couple too many times rolled onto the top.
How did you even keep the box closed?
Duct tape.
You duct taped
Just
it?
duct tape it closed and just roll me around. You know, this explains explains a lot. Now that I think about it.
Now, one time at this daycare, they brought in a whiteboard, and you were only allowed to draw on it with adult supervision. Okay, I won't draw on the board. Instead, I stole a green dry erase marker when no one was looking and proceeded to decorate my face. Hey, listen, I didn't break the rules. They specifically said don't draw on the board. They said nothing about my face. I put the marker back and walked away, but was promptly spotted by an adult. Becca, did you do this to yourself?
No.
No.
It was
Did
Bradley.
somebody do this to you?
Yes.
Bradley.
Who did it? Well, sheesh, I hadn't thought I had that far. And I honestly didn't even think to blame another kid. Instead, that good old kid logic kicked in, and I came up with the most foolproof story that was sure to get my hide into trouble.
I was minding my own business looking for something to play
That
with.
was such a cute drawing.
And then the markers came over and marked on my face.
I hate when that happens. I hate when that happens.
I will never understand how that daycare worker kept a straight face, but off to timeout I went.
Time
What are you
out.
in for? Disrupting the status quo? Whoa. I stuck gum up my nose.
Something I haven't mentioned yet is that my sister Rachel also went to this daycare, and because she's 2 years older than me, she got to be in the big kids program called the Superstars.
Wow.
And I was so jealous that I took to calling them the Stupid Stars. Be on that burn there, little Becca. But one thing that will always be a significant memory to me is the day I discovered that the Superstars had a Nintendo. Better yet, they had Super Mario Brothers. And that, my Boodle-Ollies, was the first time I ever saw a console video game.
I make sure nobody doesn't know what a console video game is. Right now we're rocking the Banjo Tooie. I need to figure out how to not have so much glare on the TV from the light. Look, Banjo Tooie just entering Jolly Roger's Lagoon over there. It's probably too blurry for you to see anything, I'm sorry. Banjo Tooie, sequel to my favorite game of all time. Very good sequel, I absolutely love it, but it's a little too complicated. Stay tuned for my gaming channel where I review that in further depth.
Can you make your gaming channel already?
Videos take a long time. If I didn't edit everything that I make, I could have 10 channels, honestly, if I didn't edit. Guys, if you want me to edit less so I can post more videos, let me know in the comments, okay? This has been like the story of my life, honestly.
It was the first time I ever saw a console video game.
Wow.
I thought I was looking at magic.
No,
and that
Batman.
became the only thing I ever wanted to do at playtime was go over to the big kid area and watch them play Super Mario
Aw.
Brothers.
Yeah.
Don't you dare
That's
tell
so
me that gamers
cute.
aren't real entertainers. I was watching people play video games long before
Is
the
that Mark
Flyers,
Mark?
Decepticons, and D-Pies of the world made it a thing. But when playtime was over, the daycare staff had to pry me away, kicking and screaming from that TV set. One day, however, I came up with a brilliant idea. When they pulled me away from the big kids corner and sat me down with the other little kids, I proceeded to scream and cry that I miss my
Do a
big
scream.
sister, and nothing was gonna console me except being allowed to be with her in the big kid area. I guess the adults didn't know what else to do, so they actually let me go back over.
Aww.
Holy Crayola, that
She's
actually
smart.
worked.
Sure enough, I made a beeline for the Nintendo. Screw you, sis, I got video games to observe.
Yeah, a video game console in your school? That sounds like destruction waiting to happen, you know?
It keeps the kids entertained.
Yeah, but it's like typically in a school you have like educational entertainment.
Well, this is just the daycare.
Is it just
there? Yeah, they're just there to
Oh.
like hang out, take care of the kids.
I'm so dumb. I am so dumb. The video is called Daycare Stories.
Yes.
Of course they had a Nintendo. Okay, guys, I'm stupid.
It didn't take long for an adult to catch on, and I was eventually pulled away again. When I tried the same shtick, they gently said, Becca, you say you miss your sister, but every time you go over there,
You play
you
the
just watch
Nintendo.
them play video games.
Yes.
Okay, maybe they had me there. Not gonna lie, that's a pretty solid accusation.
All right, grown-up, I'll concede to you this time. But one day, I'll be grown-up, and I'll watch all the video games I want.
Don't you mean play them?
No.
Now I've saved that story.
Did you ever watch any like YouTube gamers like consistently?
I watched PewDiePie,
Same.
Markiplier.
Same.
I actually really liked their Minecraft video game
okay.
because they would play like Minecraft together, and it was so funny. Honestly.
I
That
feel
and
that.
I like the Slender Man Let's Plays.
This
I liked all the scary.
That's old school. Yeah.
I liked all the scary Let's Plays.
Guys, we are OGs, okay? We've been out here watching this stuff. I didn't even know that. That's hilarious. Lola is what we call a civilian. I met her.
A civilian.
I just met
a
you.
normal person.
Yeah, a normal person. She did not know that she was dating RobertIDK until she was dating RobertIDK. She knew me as
Actually, that's a lie because on our first date, he showed me his YouTube
Well,
video.
no, don't say that. That's so weird. That makes me sound weird.
No, it doesn't.
No.
I actually liked watching them.
Okay, well, anyways, yes. You're a civilian.
A civilian.
Now I've saved the best story for last. Even when I started kindergarten, there was no escaping this daycare, because one of the services they provided was picking up children from my elementary school and taking them back to the daycare where the parents could pick them up later.
Whoa.
So every day, I didn't get picked up by a parent or get on a normal yellow school bus. I waited for a big white van. That sounds rather nefarious now that I say it out loud. But yeah, Rachel
don't
and I
go
would
into
wait
white
for the van,
vans.
pile in with the other kids, and go
Aw.
wait to get picked up at the daycare. And this was a routine my kindergarten teacher knew. She was a very good teacher and kept track of the way each of her students were supposed to go home. So she would make sure I got in that van. Well, I was getting a little bored of the routine. And here's good old kid logic again, because many of my classmates would get to walk home.
What if
And for
van life
some
is L?
reason, I decided that was the cool thing to do. I aspired to walk home.
What if van life is actually negative Riz and I'm less of a Sigma if I partake in this activity? That's what she was thinking at the time.
What came out of your mouth was literal brain rot.
Okay, thank you so much. Another Gen Z term.
I thought you said no Gen Z terms on the channel.
Well, if it's ironic, yeah. If it's ironic. Listen, I'm on the 7th layer of irony, woman. I have earned my right to say stupid.
Woman.
That's funny.
No. What's
That's
my other
fine.
nickname?
I just call you dude most of the time.
That's a lie. You
kidding.
literally call me your.
That was the cool thing to do. I aspired to walk home. But that wasn't gonna happen with Miss Responsibility Pants botching my whole operation. So like the little devil I was, I waited until we had a substitute teacher. Alright, here's your evil genius learner's permit, kiddo. When school ended that day, instead of getting into the daycare van, I hid behind a brick pillar and waited for the van to leave without me. Funny how my sister never said anything. She must have been like, alright, I guess she died. As soon as the van left, I headed off on foot. My house was within walking distance, only about a mile away. But I began to think as I walked that no one was actually going to be at the house, and I had no way of getting inside.
Oh no.
Probably should have thought of that before. So instead of walking home, I made the executive decision to walk to the daycare instead.
Wow.
Now, I knew what I was doing was against the rules, because every single time I saw a white vehicle of any sort coming in the distance, I would duck behind a tree or bush as fast as I could. When I was so
Fair.
close
That's kinda
that I
safe,
could
though.
see the daycare up
Kinder
ahead.
egg. Look, it's a creepy Kinder egg. That's a reference just for me. Creepy Kinder egg. I'll put in the clip. Oh, creepy Kinder egg.
I thought you were just making that up.
No, creepy.
I didn't know you actually.
The first video with Kermit ever.
Creepy Kinder egg.
Why are you so excited about that one?
Hey, Robert, just shut up and play. Creepy Kinder egg.
My mom says I can't have these.
I can't have these.
Those are illegal.
Those are illegal.
I'm sorry. You can't.
Can you bring Kermit back? I miss Kermit.
Can I bring her? He just comes back when he decides to. I'm sorry, guys. I think my old jokes are funny, and that's.
I thought it was funny.
Thank you. It's not egotistical to like your own work, okay? I don't sit around and watch it all day. I did back in the day when I was insecure, but now I let it ride.
Was someone talking about me?
Kermit! I love you.
You love me?
I love you.
Thank you.
Creepy Kinder egg.
Creepy Kinder egg. I don't have too much to say, but just wanted to say hi, and you're pretty cute. Oh my god!
Hey, what are you doing?
Don't beat up the frog. That's animal abuse.
No, it's Kermit the Frog.
I would duck behind a tree or bush as fast as I could. When I was so close that I could see the daycare up ahead, I noticed what was most definitely a white van approaching, and the only tree immediately available was thinner than me. So not only was this tree already insufficient at hiding me, but when I jumped behind it, I didn't think to put the tree between me and the line of sight of the van. So when the
Math.
daycare staff approached, this is what they saw. I'm revoking that
Logic.
evil genius level.
Logic.
They stopped the van, made me get inside, and guess who I found in the back seat?
Mother?
The snitch that ratted me out. My own sister.
Unbelievable.
How could you?
How could you not
You
want your
brother
sister to
even
die?
die? Wait.
How could you not want your sister to die? How could you, you traitor? How dare you care about my safety? What a snitch. That was fun, wasn't it?
It was a very cute story. I love the animation.
And we're only halfway done because we're still going.
What's the next story?
Hello. For the first few minutes of this next video, our camera died and we lost like 4 minutes of footage. So the next 4 minutes of this video, we are just gonna re-record it really quick and then just pick up as if nothing happened, okay? Fun. Super fun. The second video that we decided to watch was my scary Barracuda story! Also known as a Scarracuda. You know what I'm saying? Since we did watch this, I can tell you that this is an absolute slapperino and you better lock in. So let's get it going. And if you're digging this so far, this video that we're doing together, and you want to see more stuff like this, make sure you boop the like button, okay? If you haven't booped the like button yet, you should probably do that, right? And subscribe to Rebecca Parham, and subscribe to, me and stuff. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Happy 10-year anniversary, explainers and entertainers! Can you believe it? This channel has been around for an entire decade. I
Same.
even over-rendered my hair for the occasion. You like it? Hope so. Live-action Becca toiled over it for hours. 10 years on YouTube and I've become the personal stylist to a cartoon character. To mark the celebration, I have a very special story for you. Grab some champagne and brace yourself, explainers. This is the one I've been keeping in my back pocket for an entire decade on this channel. I give you the Barracuda story. If you've been around long enough on my channel, you already know that since middle school, I have been a scuba diver.
No, I did not know that. I actually had no idea. I don't think she's mentioned it in a single video that I've watched, but that's okay. She's a scuba diver, okay.
We should go scuba diving.
Well, after watching this story, I don't want to do that.
What?
Because of the Scarracudas, duh.
Since middle school, I have been a scuba diver. Mom and I both are. And can I just say, I kind of giggle a little bit that we as a society consider scuba diving to be an extreme sport, because that would make me an extreme athlete. Oh yeah, baby, you like what you see? I am built extreme. Mind you, I'm not saying that scuba diving doesn't take serious training and has dangerous aspects to it,
does?
because it does. Just look up the effects of water pressure on the human body and you
Now
will see what I
that's
mean.
scary.
But I don't
Have you looked that up before?
Yeah, I've seen it before. It is scary. It's the same thing as like when you're in space, how like astronauts go
pressure.
through way too much. They get taller.
They get taller, but don't they lose weight?
Yeah, you lose some of your blood density while you're in space.
That's spooky, oh my gosh. Because since there's no weight, your body doesn't have to work with anything, you know?
But I don't really know how it got put in the same category as skydiving. If my equipment fails underwater, I just swim to the surface while steadily exhaling my breath. If your equipment fails when skydiving, you get to spend the next minute watching the ground get closer.
I would
Perhaps
never
using
go
that time to
skydiving.
ponder the life choices that led you to this moment. I should have just bought a motorcycle. Now, one thing that
I
certainly
wouldn't do
can
that
go wrong when
either.
scuba-
Honestly, what do you think is more dangerous, skydiving or motorcycle riding?
Okay, motorcycle riding, at least you have time. You have more decision time before like you make a mistake. But in skydiving, like if your parachute fails, like
Well, that's not up to
you can't
you,
do
is it?
anything else. Like you just gotta watch yourself.
No, you can like, you can guide yourself towards trees.
No.
That's a thing.
They never.
I'm pretty sure that's a thing.
Most of the time people go skydiving, there is no trees under them.
Sure, that is a major misstep of skydiving planning.
Can go wrong when scuba diving is interactions with the wildlife. But please understand that in most of those cases, it is 100% the human's fault. And in the story that I'm about to tell, yeah, I may have done a big oopsie. When I was in 7th grade, Mom and I decided that we wanted to spend a 3-day weekend diving in one of our favorite places, Cozumel, Mexico. We even invited our diving friend Susie with us because, the more the merrier. Now, very often on dive trips, Mom and I would find one of the ladies around the island offering hair braiding services and get my hair braided in cornrows with colorful beads on the end. Reasons for doing this: 1, I was totally pulling it off, and it did not look completely stupid on me. I don't know what you're talking about. And 2, most importantly, it made managing my hair on these trips so much easier. No need to deal with salty, tangled hair getting caught everywhere with these neat and tidy braids. So when we got to Cozumel for our 3-day weekend, we immediately got my hair braided with beads.
Ooh, shiny.
Day 1 of diving was great, so we were very excited.
I just know that.
You do. They know we've watched it already.
I know, I just wanted to say my prediction again.
Yeah. I was gonna try to be a little more covert with it and say that you made a very smart
You made
prediction.
it less covert because you called me out. You should have went
Yeah,
along
because
with
people
it.
are like, yo, you know how, like, Rob literally just said that they watched it already. You made a brilliant prediction. What she just said, she said in the original recording, okay? That's all I'm gonna say.
Now he's dissing me.
Day 1 of diving was great, so we were very excited for day 2. It was a small group, just me, Mom, Susie, a married couple, and our dive master. The dive master is basically the guide, responsible for keeping everybody safe, getting us from point A to point B, and showing off all the fishies. We were all having fun, relaxing, floating along, looking at all the pretty things, when we got to a shallow area that had a sand bottom and lots of big rocks scattered about, each one covered in coral and fish. We were all gathered around the dive master, who was showing us something at one of these rocks, when he turned to look upwards and pointed. Hanging out near the surface were 2 pretty large barracudas. Yeah, this guy, remember him? The one that ate Nemo's mom? Remember that childhood trauma? Of course you do, we're all still paying for therapy for that one. Although this guy looks to be a Pacific barracuda, and the ones we're dealing with today are the great barracuda. Bigger, faster, and way more intimidating in my opinion. They're very aggressive and cunning hunters that rely on quick surprise attacks to kill their prey, and they'll have a go at just about anything if they think they can take it on. Well, our dive master pointed them out to us casually, but then turned back.
And one thing you said in the last recording is that you thought you could take a barracuda.
Oh, I could totally beat up a barracuda. I could throw a punch in the water.
You can't throw a punch in the water. There's resistance. You can't move that fast in the water. It's impossible.
Let's go scuba diving.
Physics.
Let's go scuba diving and I'll prove it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll make sure to insert the clip when that happens. We'll go to barracuda infested waters. Let's put your theory to the test.
Turned back to the rock to show us something else. I, however, was more interested in these 2 giant predators. I hovered over my group watching the barracudas for a little bit when I noticed they both slowly started coming towards me. Now, I was a big old marine biology nerd back then, and I'd read in books that barracudas tend to be curious and follow divers from time to time. As long as you're not spearfishing or provoking them, they won't go into bitey mode. So I wasn't too concerned about them approaching. The bigger one came in close and turned the entire length of his body towards me, his eye flicking about, looking me up and down. He was large, pushing 4 feet, maybe longer, and the second one eyeing me from behind him wasn't much smaller. Not to forget those big sharp teeth are a trait you can't exactly ignore, especially when they're that close. Close. In the midst of all of this, it suddenly occurred to me. He's
Wait,
quite
pause.
close.
Can you Google what a barracuda looks like? I need to see like a visual
showed us.
Mexico barracuda.
Yeah, kind of spooky. Whoa. It's 3 feet wide and filled with razor-sharp teeth.
It's 3 feet wide and filled with razor-sharp teeth.
Okay, maybe we just need to forget about the Gilgamesh for a second and focus.
Forget about the Gilgamesh!
Forget about the Gilgamesh!
I don't know. I feel like I could still throw a punch.
Underwater? Have I even seen you throw? Yes, I actually have. No.
Look at how skinny he is. You know, you can just throw a punch
Yeah, but what
in the
about the
gills.
barracuda?
Like in the gills, you know, you definitely get him.
You don't have the dexterity under. Whatever. Keep living your lie.
He's gonna eat the beads. Look at her hair.
He's quite close. In fact, I could maybe reach out and touch him right now if I were dumb enough.
Don't do it. Don't be dumb enough.
Maybe I should check to make sure my group isn't leaving without me. I looked over my shoulder, expecting everyone to have moved on a few yards away. But what I saw instead made my blood run cold. My group was huddling together like frightened prey animals,
my gosh.
just staring up at the barracuda.
That's not
No!
Perfectly framing the terrified looks in their eyes.
Why were they so scared?
It's 3 feet wide and filled
That's
with
not
razor-sharp
good.
teeth.
That definitely made her way more scared.
Excuse me, it's just come to my attention that I'm in danger.
I swam back down to my group, but the Barracuda were still in hot pursuit, following me every kick of the way. The dive master was holding his arms out to me, and when I finally reached him, he grabbed me and shoved me behind him, hiding me amongst the others. My heart was racing. I thought over and over to myself,
they're going after the little one. They picked me out as the weakest in the herd. I don't want to be
Good
fish
job,
food.
dive master.
we had a real standoff here. These fish were after me like I owed them a debt.
All right, buddy, just hand over the tasty morsel and we don't break no kneecaps, capiche?
Don't pull out the
That's when
Draco.
the dive master started waving his hand out to them, aggressively trying to shoo them away. But the real kicker here was clear as a bell. Even underwater, you could hear this brave man shouting through his regulator,
Go away, go away. Hey, Frankie, I think this one's trying to communicate.
Can fish hear?
Eventually-
Can fish hear?
Yes, they can hear. Fish can totally hear. They literally have ears.
Have ears?
Yes.
Yes, fish can hear.
I thought you were big brained.
I don't live in the ocean, woman.
Okay, but it's still an animal. That's like asking.
I
Like,
don't
can
live
snakes
in
hear?
the when
Can
what
snakes
opportunity
hear?
what opportunity do I have to talk to fish, okay? You know? How we talk to animals because we give them enough time to recognize our voice and learn their name. A fish, that will never happen, okay?
Eventually, during this intense stalemate, the smaller of the two Barracuda got a little too close to the other and they accidentally bumped into each other. Startled by the contact, they zipped off into the void of the blue sea, never to return. The dive master turned around to see all of us applauding him gratefully. He smiled with his eyes, stuck his hand inside his wetsuit, and made the motion of a very fast heartbeat.
Aw.
Wow.
You and me both, buddy. We returned to the boat, and when we were all on board, I yelled out, "What was up with those Barracudas?"
The beads.
Well, the thing I forgot to mention about our dive friend Susie was that she also was an expert dive master with decades of experience, and she helped shed some light on the situation. I had never read this in my fish books before, but Barracudas are very attracted to shiny objects. Reason for that? They look like the scales of fish. You know, the thing they hunt. And what, pray tell, had I tied into my hair that was floating around my head while we were underwater? Ding, 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 ding,
Genius!
ding, shiny beads.
Brilliant
I had made
woman.
my head into a giant fishing lure.
Well, I guess this is what you'd call a bad hair day.
Here's a fun fact for you. There may be a handful of millennials out there who remember this story because in high school I submitted it to the now defunct teen magazine Cosmo Girl, and they published it in their Mutina Locus section.
What?
The day I found out, my family and I were on a flight to Orlando. I was seated away from everyone else and casually reading the latest issue of Cosmo Girl that I had just bought from the airport. I read the first couple sentences of the story and thought,
That's me.
Oh, wow, a story about a girl who scuba dives. What a coincidence. Wait a minute.
That's my story.
I'm the girl who scuba
That's my
dives.
story.
Mom, guess what? I'm a published writer. You can finally be proud of me.
Yay.
I lost that issue when we moved to our new house, but I think
No.
I remember it had a light pink cover with some pop idol girl on it.
Wow.
And the story was called Bad Hair Day, and it would have been an early 2000s issue. If any of you internet sleuths out there feel like finding it, I'd be more than happy to shout you out in the next video.
Wow.
That is crazy. What an added layer to the story. That was incredible. What an incredible extra layer to the story.
That was cute.
You know what that reminds me of?
Creepy kinder egg.
We could just go back to the very beginning. The first Let Me Explain Studios video I ever watched, because I haven't seen it in a year.
My school dress codes.
Kermit, did I ask you to be the one to say the title?
You didn't ask, but I know that's what the people want.
Is that really what the people want, Kermit?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Lova. Right, that's your name?
Lola.
Oh. Okay.
All right, let's polish it up with this, and then we will put a nice little bow on it, okay? We're watching the classic My School Dress Code. 3, 2, 1.
Here's a tip for all of you in middle school and high school right now. You know that anxious feeling that you get all the time that everyone is watching you and secretly judging and scrutinizing every little thing about you?
Yes.
Like if you walk by the cool kids and they start laughing and you automatically assume that they're laughing at you because you just couldn't get your hair to behave that morning? Yeah, that has a name in psychology. It's called the imaginary audience. It's subconsciously believing every mistake you make and every imperfection about your appearance is seen and judged by everyone. Well, I've got some
I felt
consolation
that.
for you. You ain't alone. Most everyone in your school is dealing with those thoughts.
The thing is, I actually, I make videos for a bunch of people, so I actually am getting judged by many people, you know?
Yeah.
But I guess sometimes that does translate to like walking around, you know? Do you get that still? Is that a narcissistic trait?
I don't know
Probably
if it's
is.
narcissistic, but no, I don't feel like that.
Okay, well, good for you. It's a prison, so I'm glad you don't deal with it.
Everyone in your school is dealing with those thoughts.
Yay.
That anxiety from person to person is going to be expressed in a plethora of different ways, including negative ways like bullying. Free your mind, man. The imaginary audience isn't real. The world's not what it seems. Wake up. The Matrix has you. So one of the hard facts about school and about life in general is dress codes. Yeah, it doesn't stop after high school, explainers. People are always telling you what to wear. Jobs, at restaurants, passing by on the street.
What?
I wouldn't be wearing shorts if I had your legs, sweetie. Oh yeah, well your judgment of others is a manifestation of your crippling disappointment in how your life is turning out.
Oh, word. Get him. Cook him, Rebecca. This dumb hater, she don't know you. Honestly, what would actually compel a person to just like go and heckle a random person that they like have never met before? Like, just go on, you can just go on with your life. You can just go on with your life, that would be cool too, you know?
When I was but a middle schooler, I went to a private preparatory school that made us wear uniforms.
I went to a
Don't know why I said that in a
private
British
school.
accent.
I went to a
They
private
cared
school.
very much what color your
Oh.
socks were, and if your skirt was below the knees. 1 inch too high, and that would be anarchy, I tell you. That's something that I remember the girls at that school complained a lot about, is that their skirts were just too long. They're so long I can't think straight. Free the knee! Look, I'm all for personal expression, but that school didn't let us wear leggings in the winter under our skirts unless it was below freezing.
That's
So if you want
crazy.
even less protection from the
That's
elements,
intense.
then go right ahead. I'll be over here in the thermal tent that I wear around my waist. I'm not gonna say that uniforms are an inherently bad thing. Some people like not having to think about what they wear in the morning. But I
Fair.
am not one of those people.
Did you have a uniform in your private school?
Yes, I went to a Catholic school for elementary, and then for middle school, we had uniforms too.
Wow, I did not know that. I've never in my life have I ever had to wear a uniform.
Really?
Yes.
I think I've always had to wear a lot of uniforms.
This is what happens when you let a person express themselves their whole life, okay? This is what you get. So, you know, you make your own decision if you think uniforms are good or bad, okay? Because you might, if you let someone do whatever they want, they might end up looking like me.
But you look good.
So do you. So I guess it works either way.
I mean, I can't even decide on one outfit to stick my animated self with. Just look at this cartoon wardrobe. Eat your heart out, Minnie Mouse. So you can be sure that I was happy to be rid of that school uniform when I started public high school.
Yeah.
I didn't have many non-uniform outfits, so my mom and I went out and bought me a brand new wardrobe for school. And for my freshman year, there wasn't anything too special about this school's dress code, just the usual fare, the stuff you'd expect. No mini skirts or midriffs, no pants so long that you trip over them, no multicolored hair that looks like you took a highlighter to your
Multicolored
head.
hair?
It all felt
Dang,
very
that's
reasonable,
strict.
especially having just left a school that gave you detention if your shoelaces weren't the same color as your shoe.
Oh.
Next year, geez, I don't even know what happened. Someone at that school must have royally screwed up because suddenly the staff decided that they needed to ban all clothing with pictures.
No donut cat crosses. What is that? What's that last thing?
I don't know.
No donut cat emblems. Those donut cat emblems always, they do cause problems, and they are actually one of the leading causes of decreased grades in students these days. So I think that's very important to ban.
Her school sounds super strict.
Could you wear shoes with the different color laces than your actual shoe?
Like when I was
like if you had black shoes with white laces, was that allowed or no?
in middle school, I forgot whether or not our shoes were allowed to be like colorful. But when I was in like the Catholic school, we wore like slip-ons.
Okay, that's cool, I guess.
Pictures and words on it. Got a cute picture of a turtle on your shirt?
No.
Banned. Your pants got the name of the designer on it? Banned. Got a sweater with musical instruments on it? Banned. And it's against the dress code too. This was a huge deal at my school. Every kid was outraged. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's the same nowadays, but back in my high school, graphic tees were the majority of everyone's wardrobe. Heck,
Yeah.
I had just bought a whole new wardrobe the previous year, and now you're telling me I gotta go out and buy another one entirely? What the heck, school? The only exceptions to the rule were school shirts like from clubs and sports teams, college shirts, or patterns. So basically, if you had one graphic on the front of your shirt, that's a big old no-no. But if the graphic was all over, That's perfectly
Wow.
fine.
Interesting.
Yes, makes
That
sense.
makes
Good
no
call,
sense.
staff. All this meant was I wore a lot of black theater club shirts, to the point where people were mistaking me for being goth. But there was one shirt I had that was my personal rebellion against the tyranny. On a trip to
Okay,
Disney World, I
okay.
found a Grumpy shirt that legitimately looked like a college debate team shirt. Grumpy State Debate Team. We're right, you're wrong. My, Disney merchandise designers. Aren't you a talented bunch? Thanks for aiding the rebellion. That shirt looks so much like a real college shirt that I wore to school dozens of times, and not once did a teacher or staff member decide to look a little bit closer at it. I'm so bad. That wasn't the only time that I bent the dress code rules. When it came to backpacks, we had to have mesh or clear plastic so the adults could see what we were
really?
carrying.
That is
Gotta make sure no one's bringing
crazy.
any questionable items into school.
Wow. This is America. I like the clear backpack rule. I feel like I've only seen that in the last like 6 years of my life. And Rebecca's older than me. So like how
Her school just sounds like really strict. But I remember at like,
but back then they did the clear backpack thing?
I don't know.
That seems like a long time ago to do the clear backpack thing.
I will say something about backpacks. In high school, it was cool if you had a JanSport backpack.
What's that? Jan Sport?
Yeah, look it up. If you had a JanSport backpack, you were definitely cool.
Jan Sport? Oh, Jan Sport backpack. Oh, I've seen this emblem. Really? I just
Yes.
looked at this as just like, oh, this is just a backpack. This was trendy. I mean, it does look kind of cool, I guess, but
It was trendy when I was in high school.
I had literally the illest backpack of all time. I kept that thing going from the first day of high school to the end of college because my backpack was so sick, dude.
What happened to it?
It's not, well, it broke. I wore it to oblivion. I used that thing for like 10 years. Oh, come on, where is it? We haven't seen it yet. It's so sick. It was like flannel or plaid. This is it. This is it. This was my backpack. Isn't that sick? This with all black, like when you're wearing all black. This when you're wearing all black, this was sick. This was such a sick.
Can you insert a photo of you with that backpack?
If I can find it, I'll try, but I don't know. Like, we didn't have camera phones back then.
How old were you back then? I feel like I've always had a phone.
How old? You know how old I was back then, but it's more so how long ago was that?
Questionable items into school? Like Game Boys. But for some reason, girls were still allowed to carry purses, because I could never fit my Game Boy in here. So what ended up happening is a lot of girls tried to work around the system with messenger bags. If they got caught, they could argue that it was a big purse. Sometimes they got away with it, and sometimes they didn't. I was one of these messenger bag rule benders. I had followed the backpack rule for 2 years, but by junior year, my clear plastic backpack had broken. Those things suck, by the way. And I had found a denim messenger bag that I really liked and wanted to show off at school, so sue me. Now here is where having the reputation of the good kid comes in handy. Because the vice principal herself would stand at the busiest hallway between periods and nab any kid in violation of the dress code. And every day, I would walk past her in that hallway with my messenger bag completely in view, and she would turn a blind eye. Hey, that shirt is prohibited. Go to the office. You, take out that nose ring. You know they're not allowed. Oh, hello, Rebecca. You have a good day, sweetheart. Hey, I see that logo on your pants, mister.
Goody two shoes.
Wow, even no nose rings?
Yeah, of course, even no. Oh, wait, was it college? Is she talking about college or high
No,
school?
she's talking about high school, but even no nose ring?
I feel like if you have a uniform, it's like, it's kind of fair. I don't know.
Wow.
How young would you get it? When did you get yours?
I got mine in 2020.
Nose reveal?
A nose
Nose reveal, or do we? Okay. I might blur it, honestly. I don't know. Keep it on the low for
It's
now.
just my nose.
But she has a nose ring.
College is better. College is pretty chill. I don't even know what the dress code was at my animation school. We all just wore hoodies because the computer labs were freezing. Well, we did have these little things called full faculty critiques where you presented your progress to a room full of ex-Pixar, DreamWorks, and Disney artists, so yeah, you were gently encouraged to clean up for those. Maybe wear the good sweatpants. These days, I am lucky because I could wear whatever I want for this job. I could be wearing something outrageous and embarrassing
True.
right this second, and you would never know.
True.
Score one for the animators. Take that, vloggers! You and your daily uploads.
That's kind of like you. You wear sweats for like every single video.
I know.
You're always in the same pair of sweats.
People never need to see my legs in my legs in my videos, so I wear these same pants every single day. There are times when I wear a dress shirt and tie, and I will still wear these same pants because you guys won't know the difference. I'm sorry. And listen, I've got such cool legs. I've got such cool legs, and nobody ever gets to see them.
All your leg tattoos.
Yeah, I bet you didn't even know that my leg was like super
Wait,
tatted.
can you show them your foot? Like his foot is
No,
even
stop it! All right, how would you rate it?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. What was your favorite story?
The Barracuda story.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
I love spooky
So I hadn't seen that one yet, so it was fun to watch a new one. But also fun to watch the essential viewing. This is why I have to show her, because it's essential viewing, okay? And you are essential viewing whenever I wake up in the morning. W Riz in the chat. OMG Riz. There were a lot of comments like that last time. I just said something nice to you and it's like, oh my gosh, Riz. Guys, if you want to have a wonderful person in your life and keep them happy, say nice things, okay? It's not a big deal that I say kind things to to my partner. That was super fun. Thank you for watching this video. This was really fun and this video means a lot to me. I appreciate you checking this out and embracing this. And yeah, you know, let me know if you want to see more stuff like this. I think it was a really fun, cool thing to do and I would love to do it again. So you can say goodbye and I will say, make sure you're subscribed to Rebecca's channel right there. She works very hard on her videos. Here's the full playlist of times we looked at Let Me Explain Studios. If you have not seen every video from this playlist, go check it out. It's super fun. Here's a video that YouTube thinks you will like in particular. I'll see you here. I'll see you there. Peace out, people. Bye!